간다. 간다. 간다.
Hey guys, and welcome back to this, the ridiculous world of J.J. Abrams. It's the 10th episode, can you believe that?
Nah.
So let's celebrate this small milestone of this, the 10th episode, with one of my top 5 favourite movies of all time. The Evil Dead was released in 1981 and was written and directed by Sam Raimi. You may be familiar with his work on the Spider-Man movies, starring Tobey Maguire. Anyway, The Evil Dead was a low-budget horror movie about a group of friends that go to an old cabin in the woods to spend the weekend and party. Is he drinking moonshine while he's driving? When they arrive at the cabin, they discover an old tape recorder in the basement that contains the memoirs of the cabin's previous owner. They play the tape recorder back and it talks about an old book that when read from aloud, as he does so on the recording, will resurrect demons and mad shit will happen. And it does. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, I'll be joined by my very own demon tonight. That's why I've been away for so long. I was capturing her badass from the depths of hell. Although becoming a cult classic since its release, The Evil Dead was originally banned in many countries, and still is in some, I think. I don't know, you can check that one online. But it was on the original Video Nasty list here in the UK back in the day. The Video Nasty list. Okay, so as I said, it is a low budget horror movie from the 80s. We're not exactly expecting a cast of finely tuned acting machines like Gary Oldman, Helen Mirren, The Streep.
I'm taking back control of my life, Bob!
But the cast here do okay for what it is. Honestly, I've seen worst acting in movies that have got 10 times the budget to The Evil Dead.
I am utterly alone.
There's also the small entity of Bruce Campbell for y'all to deal with.
Hail to the king, baby.
For those of you unaware of this strange, mysterious creature, Bruce Campbell has become one of the B-movie legends of all time. A little bit like Jeffrey Combs. Brucey Boy plays the lead role of Ash, who's going to have to deal with all the mad shit that happens from when the book is read from, as I mentioned earlier. I like the way that you see the character of Ash develop through the movie, and what he is at the end is not what he starts out as. No spoilers so far.
Let's pray.
Ash is legendary, Bruce Campbell is legendary, and he seems to get thrown into or through every piece of furniture in sight in this movie. Poor Ash. Controversial moment? I do not like Evil Dead 2. I mention this because I think I can finally explain the reason why.
So, okay.
The main reasons why I love the original Evil Dead are that it's gritty, unpolished, and raw.
What?
Raw.
What?
Raw.
Raw?
Raw.
Rare?
What I mean by that is, I think the lack of budget resulted in weird creative camera angles being used that gave birth to this sort of strange, eerie feeling that the movie has. The camera shot used for the evil presence in the woods, for example, is tremendous and quite rightfully is now regarded as a really famous shot. Thank you, Sam Raimi. The low budget and almost experimental cinematography and lighting used help set up an atmosphere that you simply do not get in most horror movies with a medium to high budget at least. Example, Evil Dead 2. It's essentially the same movie as the first one, but with a larger budget, and I don't like it. It lacks what the first one had due to the budget increase. And for those of you out there that actually like Evil Dead 2 more than the first one, cool.
Whatever you say, man, sorry, you're the man, the dude in the chair. I am merely here.
And for the record, Army of Darkness, or Evil Dead 3, The Medieval Dead, is totally awesome and I love it. By this point in the Evil Dead series, it's more about the comedy than the horror, but this one's also got some action thrown in there as well. Okay, let's talk about the gore. I bet you thought you were going to see a gory clip there. Nope. Like I said, this movie was banned back in the day for its high level of gore, but it really is quite pale in comparison to some of the horror that's been offered up to us since. However, one of the many things that The Evil Dead has over its competitors is this. The gore and special effects used are almost like characters all by themselves. Some movies have got lots and lots of needless blood, carnage and gore, but are most likely not that memorable to you. Evil Dead's gore, on the other hand, is not there just for the hell of it. The scenes of gore used here are fun and become scenes that you do remember and add to the many, many reasons why this movie is so rewatchable. Speaking of scenes that you do remember, The Evil Dead has a rather controversial scene that I won't describe directly here because, as you know, this is a family-friendly show, but yeah, let's just say it's wild and possibly unnecessary. The location where all this madness takes place is 10 out of 10 the most perfect cabin ever for this type of movie. It's old, it's dusty, and it creaks in all the right places, and you really do need to love that bench on the outside. It's iconic. Possibly my favourite elements of this movie are the soundtrack and the sound effects, which I think are actually the strongest assets that the movie has. Let me give you an example or three of what I mean when I say the movies get some good audio.
One by one we will take you.
See? Awesome. The soundtrack was by a dude called Joseph Lo Duca. I keep wanting to call him Joseph De Luca for some strange reason. Let's just call him Joe. Joe's work on The Evil Dead was sinister and unnerving, but also uplifting and cosy at times as well. From the creepy pianos to the strange synths, it's just perfect at getting you settled into a semi-comfortable position before rising up to a climactic point of tension. And yes, I do enjoy a good thesaurus. It's like a dinosaur, but with less mass. It's ridiculous. Bottom line, I love this movie, and you should too. For all the right reasons, and also all the wrong reasons as well. Unfortunately, we don't have all day because there's so many more movies to watch and discuss. As always, thanks for watching, guys.
As if we'd end the movie like that. Sure.
Okay, so for those of you that have seen The Evil Dead, did you honestly think I was going to talk about it and only mention the book in one line?
I don't think so.
The book they find in the basement is none other than the fabled Necronomicon Ex Mortis, or roughly translated, the Book of the Dead, which is inked in human blood and made from human flesh. Lovely. The design of the book looks rugged and real, and the artwork on the inside is just what you'd expect a book like this to contain. It's full of creepy demons and skulls and general mad shit. Now this bad boy is where all the trouble begins, and if you remember a previous episode of mine, if you ever come across an old book in a creepy basement, do not read from it aloud. Boom. I'm hitting you with some Back to the Future shit. Timelines, skewers, and stuff. A cult classic nowadays, but for me, from the very first time that I seen it all those years ago, I didn't just watch it, I absorbed it. This time, let's really wrap this bad boy up. The Evil Dead was an ambitious attempt from a then unknown director to give us horror, comedy, suspense, bloodshed, books that you shouldn't read from, demons, and it delivered on all fronts. It's been an inspiration to filmmakers everywhere, including myself, to not be afraid to just go for it if you've got a vision. More to come on that in the future. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and remember,
The important thing is just be yourself. And of course, lose the accent.
What accent?
Okay, try this. Okay, it's a 7. I don't believe it! Queen of Spades. 4 of Hearts. 8 of Spades. 2 of Spades. Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Clubs.
Episode 10. Hey guys, and welcome back to this, the ridiculous world. Hey guys, ridiculousness. Hey guys, and welcome back to this, the ridiculousness. The Evil Dead was released in 1981 and was about a group of friends that go to the weekend. Although The Evil Dead was it was here back in the day in the UK. Why are you rhyming? From when the book is read from Wow. The main reasons why I love the original Evil Dead are that it was gritty, original Evil Dead are that it was unsuccessful, car. I mention this because a Cthulhu, but it is really quite bad. The scenes of gore used here are fun and become scratchy face. Creaky chair. Dawson's. Gore, demons, creepy books, and
You talk funny.